Look, we're on to what we brought the great man himself here for. We're going to go through our pool predictions. We're going to go through the Olympics. Of course, we love the banter in between the Olympic predictions and hearing a lot of F-bombs from Pro. Part of the show here at Rogue Bogues. But Pro will mess up almost every one of these international names unless it's John Smith. He'll have no idea how to pronounce
I'm
them.
right with him. I'm not great. You with your foreign background, I tell you, people in Europe, maybe because they're dealing with it a lot more often, but they are exceptional at being able to hit pronounce the names. But
I might struggle with a few though. The Nigerian team poses a few threats, so I got to get those pronunciations right. But of course,
hey, yeah, don't fuck with that Nigerian team. We don't need any Stephen A. Smith bullshit up in here, right?
Yeah, they've had a rough week.
Let's keep it set.
But of course, myself and Andrew Gaze will be covering, and John Casey, who's not here, but Andrew Gaze will be covering the Olympics for Channel 7 here in Australia. So make sure you tune into that, and I'll try to get Gazy off the fence on a lot of topics live on Channel 7. But pool predictions. Let's go to Group A. What I've kind of done is, you guys chime in. I've gone through all the teams, and I've gone through the key player for each team, in my opinion. We'll start with Team USA. For me, it's Kevin Durant. I think when everything bogs down for them, he's going to be the guy they're throwing the ball to and getting the hell out of the way, especially the way they play. It's going to become very ISO-laden, late in shot clocks, and he needs to have a 20 to 30 point tournament for them to win that gold medal, fellas.
No, I agree. He's going to be their key man. He's going to be the one that in those clutch moments, they're going to be going to him and trying to create something for him. And if they've got enough that if he doesn't play well, they've got enough talent that they've still got a very good chance of still succeeding. But he's going to be the focal point as you set your roles and have your priorities. No matter how much talent you have, you still have to do that. And he's going to be one of the priorities for the USA team, no doubt.
Pro?
I'm going to say KD in a very close second, the way he's playing, if he doesn't, knock on wood, if he doesn't get hurt throughout the playoffs, is Booker. I think Booker, because of his ability to, get under people, he can put the ball on the floor, he can handle it, pick and rolls, he can make shots. He's just playing at such a high level right now, in the playoffs. But I agree with you. KD is their number one option because Booker hasn't been there. But I think that Booker could be a big asset for them because of the fact that he could take you on the ball, off the ball, and his offense is at an all-time high right now. So, but I do agree with you. I think KD is the guy.
All right, moving on to France. So for me, they have a lot of good NBA players, obviously Gobert, but for me, the guy that fires up for them, that is huge for them, is Evan Fournier. He is, a guy that when we played him was integral to what they did. He's a primary ball handler for him, so he's playing a lot of point guard for him, pick and roll. He gets them into their stuff, and he's a fiery bastard. I like that about him. I've got into it with him a few times, and I like that. I mean, he's happy to get into it with you. But I think Fournier's key to them, Drewy. Yeah,
absolutely. I think with Rudy, he's a presence, and the way in which that he's going to protect the rim and what he does on the defensive end is huge. But I've got a list of their team and the exact.
Go for it, mate.
12. No, I'm just not sure exactly how it's going to pan out.
Yeah.
But you're right. Fournier at the World Cup, I got to call a lot of his games, and he was huge offensively. When in doubt, and you always get to those times when, and the European teams very system orientated, the way in which they execute in the half court, they're elite, a lot of fun to watch. But things will break down, and if you needed a basket, they were playing through him. So I have to agree with you with what France and if they're going to be successful, they've got a stacked team, a lot of NBA players, but he's going to have to be huge.
Pro, what do you know about France besides the croissants?
Fucking croissants are unbelievable. But no, I'm gonna go. Because I actually like Fournier, I'm not going to pick him, as again, my picking skills, God forbid the guy's going to have Cheerios across the board with zeros. I'm going to go with Nando De Colo, the player for Fenerbahce, play in the NBA. I really like this kid. I liked him when he played in the NBA. He could really score. He can shoot. He can handle the ball a little bit. Played at Fenerbahce in Turkey last year. I think that he, I really like Fournier. Don't get me wrong. He's a hell of a player. But De Colo's got no fucking conscience at all. He wouldn't pass to a homeless person on the street if they can give him fucking meal money. So I think that this kid could really take over a game. He could score. He's tough. He's been all over the world right now playing. since he left the NBA a few years back. I think he's a very good player.
Well, though, at the World Cup, he had a slower start to the tournament, and I think in some of those games, I don't even know if they started him. They might have
come off the bench.
They brought him off the bench. So, but you're right, he's a star, and he's been huge in Europe as well. But
Jesus Christ, Gaze, you didn't make a fucking stop in 25 years of playing, and you're gonna fucking stop me when I fucking make a prediction? Jesus Christ!
No, I'm just saying that the recent history and his role in the team. But I'm with you. He's a star, and he does step up. But I mean, Rudy. I mean, like I said, it's hard to with what Rudy's.
All truth here, Gaze. When we going over the playoffs, and we had like one impact player that's not a star on each team. I picked a guy for the Memphis Grizzlies that didn't play a fucking minute in the playoffs. So
right.
believe me,
That's right.
you're doing me a fucking favor. I appreciate it.
All right, so Iran. This was a hard team to even get a roster on, really. I think they're making up the numbers, if we can say that. The only guy I really know that is a bucket is Hamed Haddadi.
Yes,
played in
the
NBA,
big fella.
but he's 36.
That's all right. He still can shoot it.
I think he's the guy for them. He'll get 80% of their touches.
Yeah.
But he's a pretty talented kid. When we played him, they came and toured Australia here about 10 years ago, went out and watched, and he's a bucket down there, and he's their best player, clearly. So I think it's pretty easy to assume that he'd be the number one guy.
Yeah, he is. The other guys I don't know a whole lot about. There is another guy on there that shoots it real well. There are other guy, him and this other guy, but right now I'm looking at their names and I don't even know which one it is, so I can't.
Bro, enlighten us with your pick from Iran. I can't wait for this.
No, hey, fuck that. I'm good. Let's go with Haddadi. I'm not going to get myself in fucking trouble.
Yeah.
So let's go with Haddadi.
The last one we have, pretty easy one as well, Czech Republic. Look, they have a lot of guys that are kind of similar skill sets.
Yep.
They do play a lot of small ball. When we played in the World Cup, they weren't a talented team, but they played really well together. A lot of guys that are like 6'7", shooters, can dribble, but Thomas Satoransky is the guy for them.
He's a star. My favourite player in the World Cup was him.
Really?
He was was in the
look
pool.
at this guy.
No, I commentated in the pool that he had, so I saw a lot of him.
Yep.
And the way he went about it, he didn't shoot at a real elite clip, but would do everything and was all over, constantly on the move, elite at both ends of the floor. And just the joy in which he played and the way he interacted with his teammates, he's the absolute star of the team, but he didn't behave with that. He behaved in a way at which that he was
getting
just
guys involved,
getting everyone involved and really encouraged. He is a superstar, and I love the way he goes about it.
Bro?
Gaze, is that because he played against his great grandfather or what?
That's it.
In 2600 BC in Greece? Okay. No, but I like Jan Vesely a little bit, but he's just he's never really performed
just
for me.
inconsistent, yeah.
Yeah, I like Satoransky. I agree with you. He's very smart. He's good with the ball. He's got good vision. If they're gonna go anywhere in that pool, it's he's gonna be the guy taking them there. But I agree with you. They got a couple of decent players. Blake Schlieb, who played in the United States in college. I think Loyola Chicago, but not really anything much. I think Satoransky is going to be the guy that sort of takes him. I agree with you guys.
All right, give me your pool prediction. So I'm going to go through mine. I think this whole pool comes down to one game, Czech Republic versus France. I think that game's going to determine second, in my opinion.
Yeah. France, don't go to sleep on France beating the USA.
Yeah, I don't know. Early on? No, I'm still going USA 1, France 2, Czech Republic 3, Iran 4. What do you got, Drew?
No, I've got the same. I've got the same. But I think that would be a nervous game for Team USA to up against France.
They got the length and size. They got
absolutely,
the athleticism, yeah.
And they're not going to be overawed by the names on the other because they playing against them day in, day out, and they've got enough skills. So, but I still think...
Well, they pushed them at the World Cup too, didn't they?
They did. And France have pushed them. Did they beat them?
They beat them, maybe. It might even be right, yeah.
Yeah, they beat them. So,
they knocked them out, I think. Yeah,
it was, they've got a lot of talent, and they would be nervous about this one, but I think USA will get them, but I'm not as confident as you are in that, but yeah, that's the way I'd predict it. But I think everyone would. That's probably the easiest pool to pick.
I agree. Pro, same?
You're not going to go with Kareem Abdul-Haddadi, trying to get to the medal round?
Nah, not this time.
I'm going to go. No, I got to go with USA, France, and Czech Republic. That's what I'm going to go with, and Iran. That's what I got.
Group B. This is Australia's group. We've got Australia, Nigeria, Germany, Italy. Italy and Germany were the qualifiers. Actually, surprising that they both qualified out of their pools. Serbia and Croatia pools. We'll start with. Maybe we'll just go deep dive on Australia later on after we do the pools. But Nigeria, looking at their roster, they've got a pretty balanced roster. But I have. Young fella, Gabe Vincent, I think, is the guy for them.
Well, when he's playing for Nigeria, he goes by a different name. But
does he?
Gabe, it's Nwan. I'm not even going to try and say it, but yeah.
Gabe Vincent it is.
Gabe Vincent it is for us for the time being.
Primary ball handler for him, scorer, athletic. He's kind of the start and end for them offensively, so I think he'll be the player to look out for Nigeria for me, Drew.
Well, you're right, and you looked at that game against the USA, and he was huge. The funny thing about that game is when you looked at the stats, they played 15 guys. It was like they was just.
What did you hear about their training camp?
They had 40-something guys show up.
We talked about it last pod. They had almost 50 players at a camp.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, how do you even?
That's crazy.
I know. I know. I'm with you. But the other one that you think, and you just look at the numbers, and he's been around a little bit, and you'd be aware of a veteran guy is Udo. Is it?
Epe?
Yeah.
Yep.
Was he?
Played with Joey in Utah?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think that he's good, but and they've got a lot of NBA guys. Akogi? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Okafor's in there as well, Jill.
Okafor, who's been around. Now, how is he? He played for the USA in the juniors.
Did he really?
Yeah. I'm looking at this saying, how does he qualify?
Actually, this is a gripe I have about FIBA.
Yep.
This is one that I forgot to bring up. Is like, I get the one generation descent, like your parents migrated or whatever, but like they're taking the piss now at some point. Like there's like third, fourth generations. I might have an iota of this. I'm not saying the Nigerian team, but there's countries out there where you're like, mate, seriously.
That's a stretch.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch.
He did go to high school in the United States. He went to high school in Chicago. So he was there. So I don't, if they fuck this thing up with him, it's on the Nigerian side as far as like, he did play, I don't know. No, like what I'm saying is like,
I gotcha.
He did, I think he was born in the United States and he played high school, went to college, obviously. And he was really good. And then just like Al Jefferson and Roy Hibbert, the game just changed overnight. And they stopped going and give these guys that can't shoot from the outside, that are post-up scorers, and they can only score on the block, and they can't step out, and they can't guard anybody, they can't switch. So yeah, that's sort of what happened to him. But but he was a big-time high school player in the United States, and big-time college player.
Who are you picking from this team? Who's your player to watch?
I'm gonna go with your guy. He's a tough player. He's played well. I think he's playing with a lot of confidence. I'm going to go with him for sure. The guy Gabe.
Okay. Germany for me, Moritz Wagner, pretty obvious, I think.
It is.
He's a bucket for him, and if he's not scoring for him.
Here's the thing, though. In the World Cup in 2019, he didn't make the team. They did not legit. He went to camp, he went through and they didn't pick him. So he's one that's come out. He led him in scoring in the qualifying, and he's a very good one. But the other one that, if I'm saying, and you take for granted that he's going to have to be really good for them to be competitive. But the other one is, and again, apologies for the pronunciation here, but Modo Low. Now he's a guard, and he's played in Europe and he wins wherever he goes. He's played in 3 different German teams that have gone on to win German titles. So he's a common denominator. Now, he might have just been in the right place at the right time, but he's a common denominator in that. And he's a point guard leader. He runs the team, and he was pretty solid in the World Cup. And they had a poor World Cup. They should have qualified.
Yeah, really bad.
And they had
Schroeder, and they had a pretty loaded team.
And
as well.
Schroeder, he was just dominating the ball. But this guy here without Schroeder, I think that he's a better fit. And I think that he's going to be huge for them. He has to be huge for them if they're going to be competitive. Okay.
Bro?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Wagner. Is Paul Zipser playing for them, Bogues?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I'm always a huge Paul Zipser fan, but I don't think he'll make the impact that Wagner will. Yeah, I think Wagner, because he can make shots.
Zipser was in 2019. I know that.
Yeah, he was.
Is he in this team or not? I don't have the team in front of me.
But
Jonas Voigtman is the other one that was pretty good in 2019. He's the big fella, 7 footer.
Yep.
He's been around a little bit, and he plays for Seska, I think it is.
Yeah.
I'm going off.
That's a hard thing with some of these teams because some of these teams have guys that are even hard to scout, like
correct.
And getting film from a German league game or this, so it poses some threats for Australia.
You know what I'm shocked at? You can't go to one place to get rosters for the fucking Olympics.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I know it is.
Yeah,
trying to do the research.
Lift your game. Get a website together where we can check rosters properly and at least have a page where they announce the 12.
Hey, by the way, Japan, how many fucking yen do I have to pay for you guys to put fucking rosters up on your website? I mean, it's unbelievable. I know there's going to be nobody in the fucking stands.
They're just trying to get an Olympic Games up and running. They've got a lot of stresses over there.
Issues they got to deal with.
Final team in this pool group in Group B, Italy. For me, Nico Mannion.
Golden State.
He had a really good lead-in tournament for them. They were surprising. They beat Serbia in Serbia, which is never hard to do to get out of their qualifiers. He was a bucket for them. He's been under the tutelage of one of the greats in Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, so hasn't played a whole lot the last season. Got spot minutes when they were all healthy, so I think wants to prove himself that he can play and lead a team, and I think he's their guy.
Well, Gallinari comes in, and he wasn't there for the qualifiers, but they've picked him, and with his NBA experience and what he's done with the Italian team in the past, he's going to be a focal point.
Well,
The other one, and again, this is a guy I don't know a lot about, but I'm only looking just purely at the numbers, and I watched one of their games in the qualifiers. Is this Simone?
That Simone guy?
Yeah, Simone Fontecchio.
Yeah.
Is that right, bro?
Yeah.
Fontecchio.
I can make fun of him because he's my own people. It sounds like you could order him with a good bolognese sauce because it sounds like a pasta dish.
Fontecchio.
He averaged like 18, right?
We averaged 20, almost
18,
20
right?
in the qualifying and had 21 against Serbia in that final, which got him over the line. Again, I've only seen him play, but he looks really good. Big guy, mobile.
Makes threes.
He can shoot the three ball. Doesn't take a lot of them, but can shoot them. And he was, in fact, I've got he was over 57 and 4 in 3 games. He was 7 of 13 from the 3-point line, so he can shoot the three. So from what I saw of him in this one game, so it's a very, very small sample.
So who's your guy, Drew? You got Gallo, you got the...
No, I'm going with Fontecchio.
Okay.
Now, apologies if I said that wrong, though. I've said his name wrong.
Pro?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to go with Fontecchio because, I mean, he's like got food. More vowels in his fucking name than I do. Yeah, it sounds like food. I like Simone Fontecchio with a nice bolognese and a nice bolognese sauce. So yeah, I'm going to go with Fontecchio with a side of pasta.
All right, the big team in this group, Australia.
Yep.
So really good lead up. They just seem primed to finally get their medal, in my opinion. I think we're in a really good stead mentally, physically. I think the Baines injury, from what I hear, is all good. A bit of a knee bang with him, but he's all good now. But just a really well-balanced roster. I think the obvious one for us, for the guy on this team, is Paddy. I think, we start and end with him scoring. We need him to be that scoring. But I think Matisse Thybulle is going to be very, very important for us. He's coming off the bench at the moment. Does he now start? Who knows? But he's coming into the lineup early. He's a nuisance defensively. Shooting the shit out of the three, which I didn't think he'd shoot it that well. Shooting it very, very well. Maybe that FIBA line is better suited to his needs. But I'm going to say I think we know what Paddy's going to bring, but I think Matisse is that X factor. We haven't had an athletic defensive wing like that in a number of years. Sorry, Joe Ingles. But I think he's the guy on that team that's going to be the X factor.
Well, and I agree. I think that, and you've got to slap myself because during the season when there was talk about do you take Bryce Cotton or Matisse Thybulle, and I was looking at our roster and I'm thinking, we need to score. I'm unsure about Dellavedova, how much he can deliver. He can lead us, but how many points he can get and how are we going to get our 80 to 90 points? How are we going to do it? And I was looking at it and thinking, I think I'd lean more towards Bryce. But now seeing Matisse Thybulle play and what he brings to the team, if I had my time over again, I would have said...
And Chris Goulding.
And Chris Goulding. He
7 for 7 against
extraordinary.
Nigeria.
Now, he's not going to do that night in,
but still,
night out.
I think that's a scoring punch. I mean, Bryce is better off the dribble maybe, but Chris is still a pretty good scorer off the bench.
Correct. And I think that if I'm going for an X factor, and this is taken for granted the greatness of Paddy Mills because he is going to be our leader and he's a superstar. But if you look at performances in the past, Joe Ingles is a superstar for Australia and does all the right things and plays at an exceptionally high level. But if you go back over his Olympic campaign and the World Cup campaign, he has not shot the ball like we know Joe Ingles can shoot.
Not Utah Jazz Joe, yeah.
Not Utah from shooting. Now, he does other things. In fact, in 2019, if my memory serves me correct, and you'd know better than this, Bogues, I actually think he led the team in boards. I think he was your leading rebounder and is right up there with assists and playmaking and all those things. So he was
triple-double one game, I think.
Yeah.
Or fringe triple-double.
No, I think he might have 9 assists. Yeah, he
might have been against Nigeria, actually. Yeah.
But this is not a slight on him, but if he can shoot the ball like he does with the Utah Jazz for the Boomers, that is going to be a huge
and that's
X
a valid
factor.
point, because even I think it was the USA game, maybe the Argentina game, he was not shooting the ball as well, and he finally hit one, and he kind
there was like a relief.
He kind of gave the hands praying to God
Yes.
with his hands, and I think it is in his head a little bit. I think he's aware that he hasn't played as well as he's liked for the national team, and he'll be the first probably to tell you that historically.
Well,
right?
he's played well. I don't think
but I think his bar's higher. I think he hasn't played poorly.
No.
But I think the consistency for him and what he can do, always feels like he can do more, and I think that's irked him a little bit. So I think he's going to have a good tournament based on, I think he's coming in like, I'm going to have a good tournament. But you don't obviously want him to overthink it as well, right?
No.
So I agree with you there.
Yeah, that'd be my pick. If she's going to say, take for granted that Paddy's going to be Paddy.
Yeah.
And everyone, if Joe can then just shoot like he does everything he still does, but just knock down a few extra ones, that is going to be massive.
Pro?
Yeah, I'm not going to jerk off Joe. You know why? The guy's got more zeros in his fucking bank account than a fucking box of Cheerios. So, you know what? He's got his shit. I'm going to go with a young fella named Jock Lawndale.
Lando.
All right? Lawndale.
Oh,
all right?
Yeah,
I'm saying that's
right,
his coming. Yeah, that's his coming out party. This kid is going to he's going to moonwalk his way into an NBA contract by fucking having a good fucking performance. No, seriously, I think he'll be good. Now, look, Patty, we know what Patty's going to do. And Patty's a very important part of the team because he could score so many ways. He could disrupt the game. No question about it. But I do like Lawndale. No one's talking about him. I didn't even have him on the team 2 months ago. But I'm going to go with Lawndale.
He cut him for Will Magnay.
Oh, no, that was a poor decision.
I had no idea.
He had no idea.
I had no fucking idea. And you know what? I'm about 500 IQ points away from being a fucking moron. And I can't even I didn't even check the fucking roster from the last Olympics or any other competition, knowing that he was on the fucking team already. And I didn't have him. I watched some fucking like black and white fucking YouTube clip from fucking 4 years ago. And I'm like, and then I would get a load of shit from Bogues and the rest of the fucking Australian community.
It's a high price production.
I'm going to go with Lawndale.
It's a very high price production. We do our research.
Yeah.
No, but it's a good call though. I like the call because he's going to need to be special because without Bogues there, we've lost a lot in that position, and it was interesting against the United States down the stretch. They were going with Nick Kay. And now, admittedly,
high post,
Bainesy was, he was
hurt.
hurt.
It worked. It looked good.
But Nick Kay, he looked really good and comfortable out there. He's aesthetically, he's not going to wow you, but effectiveness, he was really good as well.
Jock's good too. Like from the high post, he could post up. He's good with hooks. He could open you up and go to the basket. I think there are times where he could be more aggressive offensively, but then again, he could just sit back and pass from the high post, play defense, rebound, screen. He's not going to dominate the game, but he can make an impact because he is physical. He's got balls. He can screen, rebound, and do those little things. And then
shot it almost at 40% from three.
Yeah, and he can stretch. Yeah, he could be okay.
All right, Drew, I'm putting you on the spot. Give me your group. Call your group. Put you under the pump. This is the hardest group to pick, in my opinion.
I think. The next one's a little tough as well.
I think both, yeah.
But Nigeria is the one that's really surprised us. It's going to be a genuine battle here. But I'm going Australia, Italy, Germany, Nigeria.
All right, Pro.
That's what I'm going. I'm going Australia with the gold medal.
Wow.
But I'm going to go Australia.
Call it early, Pro.
Yeah,
put it out there. Okay.
Hey, I've been called Kim Jong-un in my group chat, by the way, if I saying that Australia is going to beat the United States, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with what Gay said. I'm going to go Australia, Italy. I'm representing my people, and then Germany and Nigeria. That's what I'm going to go with. But Australia, I'm going to go with them with the gold medal.
It's a tough one, I think. I think Australia is a clear number one. I'm going to go Australia, Italy, Nigeria, Germany. I'm putting Germany last. I'm just going to change it up a little bit.
And that is not a bad call. I was actually thinking that, but I didn't have the courage.
I think Nigeria will steal a win.
I got spooked by them when they lost by 40 or something, or 50 to Australia. I thought, maybe that other stuff was
without 9 of their guys. I think fucking Paul Hogan was in their lineup.
That's true too. We didn't have everyone, but no, Nigeria that is going to be a scary game for Australia first up.
It is.
And I go back to when, this is a long time ago, but back in 2000, we played Italy in a pre-Olympic game and lost by 38-40.
Oh, wow.
They absolutely destroyed us. And then 2 weeks later in the Olympics, we played them to get through in the quarterfinal game and we beat them.
Yeah.
So it's don't get conned by that one result.
The pre-tournament games are a bit different.
Yeah.
How did it feel to play in front of Christopher Columbus and Mussolini? Were they good guys, or were they decent?
They were great. They were great.
All right, let's wrap it up with Group C. So we've got Argentina, Japan, Spain, Slovenia. Another really tough group. As Japan being the host, probably got screwed the most out of anyone with their group. We'll start with Argentina.
Yep.
They're still a very well balanced team. Saw them obviously firsthand. They battled Australia to the wire. They had a chance to win that game. Paddy made a tough shot on the buzzer. Luis Scola, 41 years old. He is you. Argentina. He just doesn't age, and he's just so highly skilled. And when I watch him play, he's one of those guys. He's kind of Deli, Nick K-like in a way where he's not overly athletic. He's not overly physical, but his legs just keep moving. He's one of those little kids that just their legs just keep running and running and running. And unbelievable. Credit to him. I thought he would have been done a long time ago. He's the X factor for me on that team. For him to do anything, he needs to have another tournament like he did in 2019, Drew.
Where he was phenomenal. And then I thought, can he keep going? Yeah, but he does. He just keeps on keeping on, gets a little grayer. He doesn't run up and down the floor as much as he used to, but you can't underestimate experience, and the way he uses his body is great. But Campazzo, for me, is that the way in which he distributes the ball, gets everyone involved. This is a talented team, but they play well because of their history and their passion and their emotion for their to play for their country. It's not as talented as it has been in the past, but they are a handful. But Campazzo has to be the director. He's got to get them going for them to be able to score enough.
Bro.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for the poor prick that he's not tall enough to go on Space Mountain in Disney World, but I'm going to go with fucking Campazzo. And then another guy to look out for is a guy we had in Dallas that a few years ago, Nicholas Persino, who's not a great player, but he's a very good, skilled kid that could shoot the ball, he could drive it. But Campazzo, to me, he's like a JJ Barea, type of player. He just controls the game. He's physical. He gets to the basket. He directs things. The poor, like I said, the poor bastard's about 3'7", but he's not bad, man.
But he's taller than JJ still. He's still taller than JJ.
Yeah, but the cool thing is at halftime, they'll shoot him out of a fucking cannon for the halftime show, but, they'll come back in the second half and score 20 on you.
Some would say Brasino would still be in the league if the development at Dallas was any fucking good.
Well, the problem is, sometimes you worry about the players not passing physicals. I couldn't pass a physical for 6 fucking years. So, no question about it. I would have fired me a long time ago.
All right, next team, Japan. I mean, Hachimura's he's the guy for that team.
Yeah, Hachimura.
I think he's definitely going to be they're going to be okay though. They're not going to. I don't think they're going to be completely blown out. I think they got an okay balanced roster. The kid from United, what's his name?
Uday Baba.
Uday Baba.
Really good.
He's solid.
Yeah, he's really good.
Paint pressure, but Hachimura for me on that team to look out for. But I don't see Japan making any noise in this group.
No, he's a star. And when they had that group together, and it wasn't our best Boomers team, but we went to Japan in a game, but Delhi was playing and Thon Maker was in that game, and they came in, they rolled us. So they can get it going, but this is a really tough pull for him. And Hachimura you need about 4 Hachimuras in order for them, I think, to get through in this pool. But and the problem they've got is they don't even have the fan support at games. So it's sort of like a neutral venue for
Maybe we
him.
just give him 3 Japanese officials as a sorry.
Well, that's it. So it's going to be tough for him, but yeah, he's their hope.
They're going to have all those cardboard cutouts with real mean looks in their faces for the visiting team, so that's going to be really intimidating.
Who you got, Pro?
Hachimura, and they're going to put the white flag up after the second fucking game. They got zero chance of getting to the medal round. They got zero fucking chance. Okay. They're going to call prime ministers in. They're going to say we surrender. There's no fucking chance we could compete in this. Not in this pool. Spain's good. Slovenia's not bad. Argentina's good. I just don't. I can't see them getting into that top 3. Look, I love Hachimura. I think he's a good player. He's solid. He's a tough kid, but I just don't think they have enough.
Yeah, fair enough. I think we're all on that. Spain, just a solid team. They're going to be up there somewhere every year. This is a hard team to pick a standout. Gasol's going again. Pau, Mark's involved again. But for me, I think the guy on their team is Rudy Fernandez. I think when they need a bucket, going to work, I think he's going to be the guy still on the perimeter for him. All these flopping and antics and all that. That's how he plays. But when he has good games historically for them, when he has a good game from the perimeter, regardless of what the Gasols and everyone else is doing, they win basketball games.
Yeah, I agree with you. The flopping, geez, annoying to watch. He's an elite player, but my goodness, I've commentated games with him over the past 10 years, a lot of them, because they've been so good, and it is frustrating when he's out there.
If they play Australia, watch the Joe Ingles and Fernandez because Joey, I think they've had a rivalry since he was in Barcelona, and there's a bit of
it can be frustrating to watch. But to me, Ricky Rubio,
okay.
Rubio, he sets the table for everyone else. Against you guys, he did really well, played really well. So when he's cooking and he gets everyone involved, similar, I guess, to a lot of teams with their point guard influences. But to me, he's the one that needs to play well, and he has done. He's a veteran now. He's been around a long time, and he's going to push him. But I don't see this for some reason, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just him. But I don't see this Spain team being as intimidating as it's been in the past, and I think they got their hands full in this group.
Yeah, I think they'll still be tough. I mean, they're just. I think they're similar position to us to an extent.
Yeah.
A bit older though.
Yeah, that's it.
They've just been together so long. I mean, you don't have to have those long camps. I think that helps. Pro, who you got? Because
I can't find a roster and haven't seen them play. Is Mirotic playing for them?
No, he's not there. He's not there.
All right, so I'll go with Rudy Fernandez. Fuck it. No, you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna go with my favorite international player of all time. I'm gonna go with fucking Pau Gasol. Even though he's like the 8th center on the roster, I'm gonna go with Pau Gasol.
Yeah. Fair enough. I wonder. It would be interesting to see how many minutes the Gasols get. Period, because they got a young big coming up too. I don't have the name on me, but they're supposed to be pretty good. But anyway, Slovenia. I mean,
here we go.
Do we even discuss this one? Luka Doncic.
Correct.
They'll be okay though. I think they'll have a chance. Yeah. Luka gets hot as a triple double. They can win a game, as we saw. People didn't have him coming out of that qualification.
No,
and they did.
They did, and he is incredible. They run really great system when you watch him play, and he buys into that. Yes, the ball stays in his hand, and he's going to create off the dribble, and the actions that he gets involved in, he's dominating. But they do run a bit of motion, which and run some cuts, which is nice to see as well. So, but he's a bona fide star. Yeah. He's a delight to watch, and the thing about these teams, whether it's and that's what worries me the most about our pool, when you've got 2 teams in Germany and Italy that have come through the qualifiers, and similarly with Slovenia, they're hardened. They've already been at the coalface of playing for your life, or else you're out. And that is helpful in your preparation, provided you get through. And Slovenia is in that category. They've got a lot of good players, but Luka's going to be front and center with them.
Pro?
Yeah, Luka. I mean, Luka could take, he could get off the bus in fucking Tokyo. He could pick up 4 homeless guys with him, and he could compete for a medal just because he's one of the he's Larry Bird like that, as far as like he could put 4 other guys with him and he could put them in position to win. They won't win, but he'll put them in a position to win with almost any type of player with them, because he's just that type of guy, and he's going to be tough. And is Dragic playing with them, correct, I assume? Mm-hmm. They're both playing, or no?
Yep. Yeah, Dragic is there, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the last 9 guys I put up there in the last 10 minutes, they haven't played. 3 of them were dead, and 2 of them got deported. So, I just wanted to make sure. But no, with those 2 guys, I mean, the way Luka plays and they compete, I mean, there's nobody great in that in that pool. There's some good teams in that pool, but it wouldn't surprise me if Slovenia could take number 1 or number 2 in that pool, just because, look, Argentina's okay. Spain's good, but they're not great. I don't think Japan's going to get out of there, but like any of those 3, you can miss. It's like rearranging the deck chairs at a Titanic. I mean, you never know. It doesn't really you could get any 3 combination out of there, because there's no really like clear cut winner, in my opinion, in that pool. But we'll see. But I think, Doncic for sure.
And remember, for everyone listening, some third place teams will get through to the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So only one of them, gets eliminated. But this is how I have it standing at the end of it. I have Spain first, Slovenia second, Argentina third, Japan fourth. Drewy?
I'm going with Slovenia first, Spain, and then Argentina, and then Japan.
Okay. Pro?
Fucking Gaze stole my shit again, man. Come on.
Sorry,
I've been here. I've been here 29 fucking episodes, and now you're stealing my fucking thunder on these picks, man. No. I'm going with my guy. I'm going with my guy, Gaze.
Slovenia first. Go. Same call. Okay.
And you know the thing about it too, and I don't know whether it was just because the cameras are on and you're in that moment when you're with the national team, but did you see the interview when he was in those qualifiers and in the press conference after it, and they get through? They did that, but they sang that. But above and beyond that is that they asked him, what would mean more to you? Would it be an NBA title or a gold medal for Slovenia? And he went with the gold medal for Slovenia. And I think that, Bogues, you could probably speak on it more than what we can, just what it means in that part of the world.
Even over here, it's the same for us. Like, because I don't know if there's a question of, do the USA guys take it for granted because it's so certain almost every other year.
Yep.
And for a basketball nation like Slovenia, such a small country, Australia, I think there's just that pride of like, we're not supposed to do it, so we're going to do it. So I think it just means much more for those countries. Whereas if you're the US or the Russia in ice hockey or whatever it is, right, I think you're just meant to do it. So it's kind of like, we did it. We ticked the box. But that's how I see it. I just think it's
I think Paddy Mills would be the same. I think he would cherish an Olympic gold medal more than he does his NBA championship. As great
no
as
doubt. There's no doubt in my mind. Yeah, it just makes total sense. All right. That's our Olympic wrap. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how right and wrong we are in a couple of weeks. But once again, we will be commentating at Drewy and I. So check into Channel 7 for that. We have a